presentation, I'd like to say that this was, although the year ended in a strange like way, um, I really did enjoy our Spark class. It was actually so much fun. One of the most interesting classes already in the first two semesters, of college that I've had, and probably, yeah, definitely my number one class because it was just fun. I felt super included, and the whole experience was as fun as it could be, for the first um, half of the semester. And I'd like to thank you for that, Mr. Snyder. But yeah, now for my Spark project. My question that I posed for my project was, what muscle groups does skateboarding activate slash work out? Since I'm a bio major, I kind of try to tie that in to my major, muscle groups and all that good stuff. So yeah. So for the second slide, we're going to be talking about 5 muscle groups, and these regions of the body include the core, quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteus maximus, and the lower legs. So starting off right here, I have an image of a man doing a manual, and in order to perform a manual, you need incredible amounts of balance, and where that balance is generated is your core. Additionally, having your arms up in the air, that definitely does help, raise your center of gravity, so it's easier to stand on, just 2 wheels leaning back and forth. Yeah, and according to a fact check article titled "What Muscles Does Skateboarding Work Out" by Miguel Cavazos on sportsrec.com, skateboarding works your core muscles. Your core muscles stabilize your body and allow you to balance on unstable surfaces, which is a critical component of skateboarding. Cavazos. Additionally, specific muscle groups such as abs, obliques, the latissimus dorsi, and get an extreme workout when an individual skates, as skating requires large amount of balance, which is generated from your center of gravity, which resonates in your core. Given this, the previous stated muscles must tense up, flex, and stretch in order to provide balance. So yeah, you need to have a really tense core, and essentially what that allows you to do is skate and do manuals, board slides, nose manuals, all that type of stuff. Just skating in general requires so much balance. And specific tricks, just like the ones I've just mentioned, manuals, board slides can be great exercises for skaters who want to work out their core. The next muscle group that we're going to be talking about is the quadriceps. And if you see here on the right, we have the rectus femoris, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, and vastus medialis. I tried to say that as best as I could. And essentially, these are your upper thigh, mid thigh, and lower thigh muscles right above the kneecap and right below the hip. And these are very, very important when you're trying to get low to the board. You need to bend and flex these muscles in order to do that. And yeah, the quadriceps are an important group of muscles which have loads of control over hip and leg extensions, which are obviously very crucial in performing most tricks in skateboarding. When performing the ollie, the quadriceps allow for major hip extension and leg extensions, which are vital to popping the board up and off the floor. It should also be noted that since the ollie is the foundation of most of other tricks, meaning that this muscle group is actively working to allow crazy stunts. Because obviously, in order to do, a tray flip, a kick flip, a heel flip, any kind of move, maybe even getting onto like a grind, you need to perform an ollie to pop up off the floor, and obviously that ends up activating these muscles. And according to a New York Times article titled "Skateboards for Work and Working Out," author Shivani Vora writes, "Your glutes, hamstring, and quads work with all the pushing off the ground. Your abs help your back balance, and your small muscles in your calves, the stabilizing muscles in your hips." Those are all kind of things that are very important when riding skateboard. Also, if I haven't mentioned already, you can pause the video if you want to examine the slide. And yeah. So the hamstrings. Hamstrings are also very key in the contraction and extension of the knee down to the lower leg, which prepares skaters for perform tricks also like the ollie. And, these muscles and tendons include the biceps femoris, semimembranosus, and these are the hamstring muscles. And then you have the lateral and medial head right above and behind like the calf. And the hamstrings, obviously, most skaters, as you get older, you want to stretch these out because these are often the muscles slash, like tendon groups that you seem to injure and pull the most when skating. According to the same article, "What Muscles Does Skateboarding Work Out" by Miguel Cavazos again, flexing your knees is important to crouching down and maintaining a lower center of gravity. Obviously, when you're doing an ollie over like a staircase or, just landing it, you're not going to have straight legs because your body would just immediately transfer that impact throughout your whole body, and that could really injure you. So when you land, you always want to have a bent frame, and your hamstrings definitely work as a huge part of that. And hamstrings are also very fragile, and like I said, these can get injured very easily. So the gluteus maximus, also known as the butt, without a doubt, the gluteus maximus is one of the most paramount muscles in the human body when it comes to skateboarding. As I previously said too, along with your quadriceps and all those other things, your core, this is literally the hips and all that good stuff. This is what allows you to bend down and get close to the board. And when you're landing that ollie or whatever, you're bending down. Your muscles in your butt are frankly, contracting and all that good stuff. The glutes are used when a skater bends down to their knees, ollies, or does any sort of pop-up trick. And according to the same article, last time I'm going to be referencing this article, the Sports Rec website, gluteus maximus is the most important stabilizing muscle for skateboarding, which allows you to maintain balance when transitioning from crouch to an upright posture. And now on to one of the last muscle groups, we have the lower legs. In skating, the lower legs are the first point of contact with the skateboard, allow for control, steering, and push-offs. So obviously you have a lot of muscles, a lot of bones, a lot of different tendons in your leg, but obviously the muscles are very important. Actually, if I go back real quick, there was a quote as well. Let's see, I think it's right here. Yeah, you use your small muscles in your calves to maintain balance. Very, very important. And obviously, this photo doesn't really show it, but on the reverse of the leg, there's obviously the calf muscles. And those tend to get very defined on skaters because they're pushing off, landing, doing tricks, flipping, extending, and really tearing up those muscle fibers in order to regenerate them and grow them back larger. The calves are a crucial unit when it comes to doing any moves as tension builds and muscles contract. This inevitably causes tears in the calf muscle fibers, leading it to repair and grow back larger. All the tendons and muscles must work together to coordinate the leg movements on the board, allowing for a smooth skating experience. How does skating work out these muscles? This brings us back to the question that I kind of posed at the beginning, like what muscle groups do you use? How does skating work out these muscles? Well, I also kind of previously said it, but also according to this article titled How to Build Muscle with Exercise on medicalnewstoday.com, muscle hypertrophy occurs when muscle fibers sustain damage or injury. The body repairs the fibers by fusing them, which increases the mass and size of the muscles. And given the fact that skateboarding requires a lot of core, lower leg, many of these other muscle groups movements, this inevitably works the individual's body out severely, and in turn ends up making the muscles larger, mainly from the core down to the quadriceps to the lower legs in that region. Overall, skateboarding is a fantastic whole body workout that activates many different muscle groups in order to coordinate and execute the skating experience. And that was my project, going in depth and seeing what muscle groups are affected and which ones grow back due to skateboarding. And here are my references. I'm going to be posting or trying to post this video either directly onto the homework tab, or maybe just put it in the front of my slideshow, so like right when you open it, you can click and just watch this instead of just going through the slideshow. But yeah, again, Mr. Snyder, I'd like to thank you for a fantastic year. I've had truly a lot of fun, even though it didn't end as we all thought it would. I did have a great experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next year in the upcoming 2020 fall semester, and hopefully to have that amazing skate like show. So yeah, I'd like to thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.